I tried to get people as relaxed as possible. I tried to get as relaxed as possible. The nurse would try and be as relaxed as possible. We all tried to kind of join together to make it as calm a possible environment as we could. You know, it was a room in a busy research unit in a busy municipal hospital. But we, I think we really supported people just to provide a solid foundation, you know, like a launching pad for them to take off from. One thing was that oftentimes people would be very excited as they were able to start to speak again, as they felt their consciousness re-entering into their bodies. And they just wanted to talk. They were so excited. And this would usually occur maybe at 10 minutes or so. They were really totally you know, there was a very marked separation of their consciousness, or the experience or the sensation of a separation of their consciousness from their bodies for the first 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then what was pretty common was a feeling of re-integrating, re-entering into their bodies. And, you know, being able to be aware of their breathing and their mouth and their head and stuff. And so people wanted to talk and describe the experiences. But there was still a fair amount left of the DMT in their brain and their bloodstream for another 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, it seemed to us important to keep people quiet during that time, that I was afraid they would just chatter away the last end of their experience. So we advised people after a month or so of this becoming apparent to try and stay as, you know, as quiet as they felt comfortable with for maybe 20, 25 minutes. And I would let them know when that time came by. In the first group of volunteers, sometimes the onset would be so powerful, so striking, they'd open their eyes to sort of orient themselves as to what was happening, because they were just so shocked. It was like having a bucket of cold water thrown into your face almost, and people would just be so startled they would open their eyes and look around the room, which was very distracting, both because the hallucinations and the visions would be overlaid on the room, be rather disorienting. And if they looked at either me or the nurse, our faces were really disfigured and very just melting and very strange. And for some people, that was kind of alarming too. So, you know, so we encouraged people to keep their eyes closed. I mean, we were fairly explicit about that. But that was rather hard even for folks who had been coached in that, you know, in that event. So we started using black, sort of a sleep aid, kind of eye shade. We applied that to people's eyes around their head right before the study started. You know, so if they did open up their eyes, they would still just see black and would say, all right, I opened my eyes, I should close them again, if they could think that much. Yeah, so all the while we were drawing blood, checking blood pressure, and once people came down 20, 25 minutes, we started chatting with them, just sort of asked them how they were and what it was like. Then people were relatively normal within 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We had that questionnaire we gave people as a paper and pencil test. They would just check parts of the questionnaire for noting certain experiences being mild, not at all, quite a bit, extreme. And the sorts of questions would be of, you know, visual effects or emotional effects or certain physical feelings. They'd be drinking tea, having some food, and they would generally go home within a couple hours. If people were really affected by it, they might take a nap for an hour or so, but that was rather rare. I mean, sure, people had nothing important to do that day, and most people went home and either took a nap or wrote down their experiences or just kind of relaxed for a day.